Jonathan Kuminga saga is over. He had agreed to a 2-year, $48.5 million contract to return to the Golden State Warriors. Agent Aaron Turner told ESPN. But this is my favorite line of this report. The deal has a team option designed for the contract to be ripped up and renegotiated next summer. What? Like a 2-year deal, but it's the second year is designed to be ripped up and renegotiated next summer. So does that make it a 1-year deal? I've never heard this kind of verbiage around a contract, but Jonathan Kuminga did not get his player option that he was requesting, that there was kind of back and forth all summer, and Aaron Turner did a lot of interviews publicly trying to campaign through the media about his value and trying to get the word out that he would like to have a player option and no team options, because those are a net negative for a lot of these clients, is like team options work against players, which is why maybe you want to include in this report that it's designed for the contract to be ripped up. So, according to the reporting, it's going to be about $22.5 million in year one. There's going to be a no trade restriction until January 15th. Mid-January is when he can be traded first. It seems like this is just kicking the can down the road.
Yes.
And designed for him to be traded. So it isn't a 2-year deal. It might be just like a half-season rental with the Golden State Warriors is how I'm reading it. How are you reading it, Dan?
Yeah, it calls to mind, like NFL free agency reporting, where it's like this deal can be worth up to a certain amount. And then, your smart NFL people are always like, let's see the guarantees, because this 5-year, $96 million deal is really like 2 years, 38. And then everything else is void years and sort of incentive laden and stuff like that. My immediate reaction to it is the Warriors got basically exactly what they wanted in this situation. They did not go to a third year. They did not give up a player option. They did get, according to the reporting, Jonathan Kuminga to waive the implied no trade clause that comes with signing a one guaranteed season extension. And, for the team that's got your bird rights. So they still have the ability to move him this season. They have the team option that allows them to control what goes on next, or a potential suitor to control what happens next for Kuminga. They get him on the larger salary slot that allows them to bring in a higher priced player or to target higher priced players in trade if they want to try to add to this year's roster.
Right, like veteran guys who have in the $25 million range. Right.
Yeah. So my initial reaction to this is sort of like, if this is where we were, why could not this have happened a very long time ago? But I suppose the answer to that is Jonathan Kuminga didn't get nothing in return here. He does get a little bit more money up front, right? If the initial offer was 2 years, 45, getting up to 2 years, 48.5, you start at a higher salary. So he gets a little bit more money now. He doesn't have to take the $8 million qualifying offer. He makes like an additional $15 million in guaranteed money this year. It doesn't get him the immediate exit to get where he wants to go. It doesn't get him the sign and trade to Phoenix or Sacramento, where he would get a longer, more lucrative deal and a starting slot. He doesn't get everything he wants, but he gets a little bit more money. And he either gets, if he doesn't like where he is after an eventual trade, which I think at this point we just have to assume is gonna happen. If he doesn't like where he gets traded, he can either renegotiate a new deal there next summer or get into UFA in 2027. So he still has the horizons coming closer for him to where he can fully control his next steps. It feels like it was a whole bunch of agita for not much payoff, but I think your point about kicking the can down the road is like, all right, so now Kuminga's there. He's there on this money. Does he start? Do you bring him off the bench as a sixth man? How excited is he about that? If you're the Warriors and you want to pump up his trade value to make sure there's a market for him in January, you can't just stick him on the bench and not play him. How does that fit with the all grown-ups ball movement, smart play stuff that you've been working the whole thing around? And Al Horford seems like a hand in glove fit for, and you clearly weren't super comfortable with the way Kuminga fit into that. Now the on-court element of this comes back to the forefront. And I don't know, barring Kuminga changing his game and assenting to doing more of the kinds of things that Steve Kerr and that coaching staff have really been trying to get him to do for a longer period of time, or dramatic injuries and problems elsewhere in the Warriors hierarchy that means more shots, more touches, more usage for Kuminga, it's kind of tough to, I don't think we've solved those problems, but the can has been kicked down the road, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for me to believe that he's gonna be on the Warriors past the trade deadline. Like,
Yeah,
simply put, I would be surprised if he's on the Warriors roster come March, and that he is going to be on the team for their playoff run this upcoming season. Al Horford next to him, I mean, he's a kind of a perfect fit for what the Warriors want to do as a passing big, very smart, both ends of the floor, kind of steeped into the dye and the cloth of what Steve Kerr preaches constantly is ball movement. If you're gonna have the ball in your hand, make a quick pass, kind of 0.9ing it where you don't want to hold the ball, you want to make a decision quickly, shoot or move the ball. That's Al Horford's game, right?
yep,
He is a guy that can have a 10% usage rate next to a guy like Jonathan Kuminga, right? Is like, all right, I'm just going to be out here to defend and play at a high level, do the little things, and Kuminga, you can just cook. But I just don't know what that does for, Draymond Green's going to slide over to the 4, and then you ask yourself, well, where are those minutes going to come from Kuminga? Like you said, is he going to start? What kind of minutes is he going to have? But all of this might be just fait accompli, and that the suitors are the suitors. The Kings have been rumored to be interested in Jonathan Kuminga and the Phoenix Suns. And maybe we find out that, come January 15th, they've had some sort of deal, the framework of a deal already agreed to, and they're just waiting for him to get his money, which he did just get. So we'll see. I like the moves that they hit. GP2, D'Anthony Melton, Al Horford coming back. Love those veterans for what they're trying to do. I'm generally bullish on the Warriors year in and year out because I think Steph is that good.
sure.
And he looks great, and everything that we're hearing about Steph Curry and his strength and his speed and his health, I think is really good sign for the Warriors. What I don't like is just, I feel like, Dan, this isn't going to be the last time we've talked about this on the big number, Jonathan Kuminga. I feel like we're probably in for what is it? There was a couple reports last year, Kuminga unhappy about his role and
Yep.
wanting to get some sort of resolution with Steve Kerr. And I feel like we're not out of the woods yet on that. So Golden State Warriors, they get Jonathan Kuminga back, but TBD whether he's actually going to be on the Warriors roster, and they rip up that contract this summer.
Is he like our Pablo aspiration story? Like, are we going to have like a 5-part series on Jonathan Kuminga?
I you know what? I don't think it's getting the kind of.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? Don't you do it?
Exactly.
Hey,
Yeah.
but brothers playing together, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a Exhibit 9 deal, it looks like, training camp deal.
For Seth Curry, that's right.
For Seth Curry. So yes, he's signed, but it's not a full, standard player contract. So it looks like he might play training camp and preseason and be here for a short while, and then he will be back with the team potentially down the road once kind of the roster restrictions loosen up for him. So that'll be fun. The Curry brothers, we haven't seen that yet in the NBA.
No, I think it sounds like it's going to be good. And the idea of, I think that it's to your point about, we're going to wind up talking about this again. It feels like all of the signings they made, the younger guys still have there, like with Moody and Pajemski, and the veterans that they had, like this whole team is built to look and play a certain way. And then there's this other guy. It still feels like that. And maybe Kuminga is able to be like, maybe that can turn into a strength, and Kuminga can be, additive as a different type of player and bring a different flavor of downhill slashing and offensive creation, whatever. And maybe this is the year they finally figure out how to merge those two things. I think you're right, though, to be skeptical about that and to think that the most likely outcome here is that the one of these things is not like the other of it all, winds up being resolved in a trade in a couple of months. But at least Jonathan Kuminga is going to be getting paid a little bit more while we're all waiting for that.
You don't have to wait anymore, folks. You were clamoring for the resolution on our over-under on the Kuminga contract that we said
That's
July
right.
30th was going to be $20.4 million. That was the over-under from Fred Katz at The Athletic, did the survey of coaches and executives. And the average annual salary for Jonathan Kuminga after all of those, where it was 20.4, we both said over on that. We took the over on that, and the average annual salary, even though it's going to be ripped up this summer,
it's designed to be. It's designed to be. Things that are designed in certain ways, they don't always happen.
That was almost like a dare that Shams did. Like, it's a dare. Like, Don't you dare not rip this up. It's designed to be ripped up. The crease is it's like a fruit snack that has already had a rip on the label there. It's already designed to be ripped up. Okay,
this contract will self-destruct. Yeah,
it will self-destruct. The little crease has already been created on the contract, and all you have to do, Mike Dunleavy Jr., is just rip it. Just let it rip.